Hi, I'm Ian Richards. This is
Hi, Mike Pascal.
now I'm the director of organized play here at PhD. Mike.
I am the purchaser here.
So we're going to take a look at a few games today. This is our first particular video together. So we're going to take you through a bunch of games that are coming out this week, right?
Yep, stuff that's coming out this week.
All right.
We got a couple treats for something that's coming out later in the month.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick up the first one here. This is quite a heavy game.
Yeah, it is.
Forge World feels like a box of goodness. Mike, it plays 1 to 4 players, 12 plus. About what, 60, 180 minutes, somewhere in that region?
So there's two ways you can play it. The regular game is just like 1 hour, but you can play. I think it's called a 3-tier longer like epic game. So you can have a really more long, drawn out kind of game that if you and your friends want to play one big epic battle all day long, Forge War is definitely something that you can do. So there's 2 ways to play it for your time, and this is a second printing.
That's what I was going to say. Because didn't the first one come through Kickstarter?
The first one came through Kickstarter, and there weren't a whole lot of copies.
That's what I heard.
It went through very quickly. So we have plenty here now. This is a second printing. I'm not exactly sure everything that was changed, but I do know there were some things that were tweaked a little bit between this edition and the first edition. So, but it's a pretty cool little game.
I mean,
and
look at the
pretty hefty.
Look at the pieces in the box. I mean, they look pretty sweet.
I don't think they can see that from there, but
Well, let's hope you can.
but I mean, it's heavy. It's a heavy box. There's a lot of stuff inside of it.
Can you hear? I don't know if you can hear that, but wow, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of goodness in this box. What does it retail?
I don't know. $50? I'm not exactly 100% sure.
But hey,
Probably should have done our homework
we
beforehand.
probably should have done. Shouldn't we? What a great question. Hey, is there any others you don't know? So okay.
I think the quicker answer is which ones do I know?
Okay, well, probably.
So,
All right, so that's Forge World.
Yeah,
all right?
Forge War. Yeah, it
Forge
is available this week.
So the next one I want to go on to is, this is kind of a personal favorite of mine. Above and Below. Mike was really lucky to get an early copy of this. He played it with us here. I love it a bit, but I'm going to let Mike talk about it more.
So I was pretty happy. I ran into the designer at Gen Con. He was just setting up in the hotel. He just got his copy in from the manufacturer, and I was walking by. I never met Ryan before, and I saw it, and I instantly recognized it because I kind of fell in love with the artwork while I was on Kickstarter. And I stopped and I said, "Hey, have you guys played that yet? What do you think of it?" And he goes, "It's okay. I'm the designer." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I sat down and he ran me through it right there, him and his wife, and I fell in love with this game. I think you can attest. I talk about it as often as I can. I really just fell in love with the charming nature of it. So and you've played it, so you understand what I mean when I say it's charming. You have this really deep not worker placement, but like resource management game where you have to do everything at the same time to win. But then there's the exploration factor where you go in and you choose like your own adventure thing.
That's the bit I like the most, is because it felt something like I was playing an RPG at the same time as I'm playing this board game, where I was doing this worker placement and resource gathering and exploring as an RPG. It all came together very neatly for me in that package. So I always judge a good game because I get this feeling that I want to play a game again straight away. It's usually a great game for me. This is one of those games. This left me feeling like I wanted to play it again straight away.
Well, there's 250 different stories
and
that you can explore in it. Oh yeah, we barely scratched the surface. I've played.
So I love that game.
I've played maybe 5 or 6 times, and I've heard the one story repeated once. And because there's a choose your own adventure, the story concludes in different ways. So I may have heard the beginning of the same story, but
the options
are different.
Yeah.
At the end, one time I heard that they saved the little fish boy. The other end, I heard that they joined the guards and beat up the fish boy.
And there are a lot of fish boys and
there's
a lot of aquatic creatures.
Yeah, Ryan, if you watch this, there's a lot of fish people in these stories.
Less fish people.
There's maybe not less, but maybe different colors of fish people. I don't know.
Like a green and a blue and a red. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So Above and Below, it releases this week. It is a really great game from Red Raven Games.
Now, second edition of a popular game, Boss Monster 2. Now, Mike, what's changed in this game?
It's number 2.
Is that it?
No. So
new dog work?
It is not an expansion, though it can be. It is a standalone game of Boss Monster. So it's all the same Boss Monster stuff that you've you've come to play. You got the bosses, you got the different characters, and mechanic wise, it's the same.
Okay.
It is just more. It is more stuff to it. More Boss Monster 2.
So what? If for those that don't know what Boss Monster is about, and those that haven't played it before, haven't carried it in the store before, what is Boss Monster about? To get an idea of why this is so impactful in the game.
So it kind of turns the whole fantasy good and evil on the head, where the player is actually the dungeon lord, so to speak. And you're taking over with cards, and you're building different parts of your dungeon, like different traps, different monster rooms, and each one of those rooms has a class rating to it. Like one may have if you have you have a treasure room, it may appeal more to a rogue.
Okay.
So after you've built your dungeon, every round you're going to attract different players or player characters, which are cards, out in the town to come to your dungeon. If you have the most rogue rooms, the rogue is going to come to your dungeon. So that's how it plays. It's a really fun little game, and you use a lot of player interaction where you can destroy an opponent's room, or you can steal their the heroes that have gone to them.
I like that type of games. Whether you can affect a play outside of
just
what you're doing and building stuff, you can actually ruin somebody else's game, kind of.
Yeah.
That adds a little extra element to me where I'm having to think about what other people are doing as well as what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I like games like that.
So what's cool about this though is some of you know you already have Boss Monster 2, but you don't recognize this. So this is the limited edition cover that came out during the Kickstarter, and you notice it's an homage to Mario 2. Instead of holding a little radish down here like Mario was, he's holding a little bent over Mario looking guy. And with every copy of Boss Monster 2 is coming the paper and pixels pack. So there's a bunch of the promo cards that were some of the Kickstarter cards that were never available before. You now get one of these packs for every Boss Monster 2. That includes this one and the regular Boss Monster 2.
That's cool.
That we already have available. And this is also available right now.
I'm not going to ask you the MSRP because we've probably done that, right?
$29.99? No, I don't.
Don't quote us on that.
I'm really bad with MSRPs.
Maybe we should look those up for next episode.
I know how much they cost to manufacture.
It's probably not the best thing to say.
No.
All right, next up we have Between Two Cities. I actually know very little about this game, other than what I can read on the back of the box. So I'm really going to have you tell us.
So I know a lot about it. This is actually my personal Kickstarter copy that I got months ago, or a couple months ago. So Between Two Cities, you can play up to 7 players, 3 to 7 players, and pretend that you have to build a city with your neighbor on your right. You also have to build a city with your neighbor on the left.
So you're interacting with both players to either side of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can't focus on just helping one person when building one city, because your score at the end of the game is based on the value of your lowest city that you built with your neighbors.
Aha. So it's cooperative play as well as individual success.
It's like a social experiment more or less than it is a game, because you're definitely trying to you got to work with both people, but you also have to look out for yourself.
Correct.
Who are also trying to look out for themselves, who are trying to look out for the
other
players
people
that you have no interaction with.
You don't want them to work with.
Yeah. So every turn you're going to flip over these different kind of city tiles, and your neighbor on your right and your neighbor on your left are going to see both city tiles that you haven't chosen yet which city they go to. And now you have to look at the player on your right who wants you to put parks in that city when you're putting the park in the city on your left.
So how do you sort of negotiate that? I mean, is it a form of negotiation?
Awkwardly?
Well, is there a form of negotiation that goes on at that point? Ally diplomacy, where I'll help you do this if you help me do that?
Yeah, I'm sure. It's like I say, it's more of a social experiment than it is. Then there's a game, because it's just kind of like you are just kind of debating with each other on what you need to be doing, and there just happens to be a game involved.
Right.
It's a pretty cool little game. I really like it. It plays fast too.
I know it says 25 minutes.
It says
25 minutes. So I would expect about 30 minutes and done, right?
For your first game.
Yeah.
For your first game? Like teaching people how to play it.
So it's a fast learning game.
It's
as well.
A very fast.
That's
learning.
always an advantage.
Yeah, and there's a lot. It's a tile laying game too. So you're gonna make a 4x4 grid of a city.
Cool.
So if you like city planning games or tile laying games, or you're just a big fan of Stonemaier games, which lately everybody is.
What I like about this is, I mean, it's slightly higher on the amount of people it takes, though. It takes up to 7 people.
7 people.
But it starts with 3, is that right? As opposed to what we would normally expect is 2.
Correct. Well, because...
So it's 3 to 7, but it's 8+, so it's got a very low entry level.
Yeah, because this is a very simple game.
Good.
It's not super complex. It is laying tiles down.
So I can literally take this home and play it with my family as well.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, most of my family don't know how to play games terribly well.
Yeah, but you could.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Great.
Yeah, Between Two Cities. Also available this week.
Next one up, New Dawn. Another box that is pretty chock-a-block with material.
Yeah.
And 2 to 4 players, very stereotypical. Slightly longer gameplay, about an hour and a half, 2 hours plus, and again aimed at about 12 plus. Would you say?
For age?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. So the cool thing about this is you all recognize the art from the box. It looks like it's Among the Stars. It's not Among the Stars. It is the sequel to Among the Stars, which is one of my favorite games. And this is not the same kind of card-laying, tile-building game that you're used to. It is a board game where you have like 4X mechanics involved, where you're no longer working with each other to build the space stations, the big space station to help Unity. You're now fighting for your own kind of advancement, and I've yet to play it. I'm pretty eager to. I did pick up a copy, so I'm pretty happy, pretty excited to get to the table. And so it is not an expansion for Among the Stars, which was last week. There was an expansion for Among the Stars and miniatures. This is a standalone game, and it is the sequel to Among the Stars.
So some of the things that we do here at PhD is we actually take these games, we get advanced copies, we will very often crack them open and actually play them. So I'm excited that we'll be able to crack open some of these games we have on offer for you today, and be able to hopefully gain on our Facebook pages, share some of those experiences as we played them.
Sure.
Yeah, so check in with the Facebook pages, check out what we have to say about the game, see some pictures of us in action, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Mike and I and other people around here always playing these games. So
Yep.
PIP, miniatures. I love miniatures. I don't know if you guys have been catching the fact that we've been running a miniatures tournament just lately with Army Painter. But so many people chose Hordes and PIP, so this is, I guess, one of the hottest ones come down for the Trolls.
So, I actually am a Trollbloods player, and I was really excited when they announced the epic version of Harlock Doomshaper. So he is a unit warcaster, which is something new, or warlock that they've been doing. They've been it's not just your warlock; you also get a little guy that comes along with it.
I see that,
and he is really good rules wise. He is already one of the tournament warlocks that are out there. Harlock's always just turned up your war beasts to 11 and even more. He's gonna drive those beasts even harder, and really cool model.
Right.
He is resin metal.
For those of you that take Hordes and War Machine and other PIP lines, be aware that they do organize play for these things. So, again, talk to your account manager in regards to getting organized play
Steamroller kits.
Yeah, to support this play, because it's not just about being able to support these great models and get them painted like we've done just recently, but continuing play is really important to build your line in your store.
This is always it's the driving force for Private Press. It really is. This weekend upcoming is War Machine weekend. So this guy's going to see a lot of time at that tournament right now, and we're going to see after this weekend what kind of lists are going to come out and which models are going to be hot. Harlock Doomshaper comes out tomorrow, or Harlock Doomshaper Dire Prophet for his full Threpic title.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about the changing face of Christmas and the seasons, and that, not mentioning Christmas, but you couldn't have a holiday festive season without Munchkin, could you?
No.
I mean, there's no festival can go by without Munchkin having something out there celebrating it, and nothing less than Munchkin Holiday Surprise.
Hey, we're holiday dressed.
We are. We just need something green, don't we? Oh, there you go.
There we go.
There we go. We're nice and festive. I promise I won't sing Jingle Bells. What can we say about Munchkin that hasn't been said a million times before?
Well, so this is not necessarily a new release. This is a bunch of the other releases they've done for the holidays. The December holiday season,
right.
Christmas as it were, combined into one. There's a couple extra cards that have not been released before.
So that would be the unique selling point to newer players.
So it's also
existing players, sorry.
Yeah, and it's also in one place now.
Yep.
And there are some holiday kilometers that come in here as well that have never been.
What's a kilometer?
Released. Kilometer? It is your life tracker, your level tracker in Munchkin. So it's a little dial that you rotate back and forth to see to keep track of your levels. Because
ask that just because you can't see necessarily the small detail on the back of the box.
You're the one that showed the components for Forge War.
I did. And you were right. Our viewers probably can't see it.
No, it's okay. So yeah, this has all the holiday stuff that came out before for Christmas, and some extra stuff that has never been released before, and it's all in one nice little green
You know,
box.
if you've got Munchkin players, you need to get this.
Oh, for the holiday
season?
season?
They will always eat this stuff up.
It's definitely a gift item for sure.
Right.
You want to keep it on your shelves.
Now, I heard this game is actually a piece of cake. Or not.
Oh
yes,
my.
I made a bad joke.
You went there.
Mike hates me because of my bad jokes.
Oh man, I want to put that. I want to put that joke in the incinerator. You don't get it, but everybody else will.
Yeah. Portal. Mike, I know you've been ranting and raving about this game for well over a week now from Cryptozoic.
A week?
Yeah.
Like a year.
Well, the last week you've been
literally sure, because it came in, yeah. I love Portal. I love the video game. It was one of the best media experiences I've ever had. When you're playing the game and you're going through this really pretty pristine science lab, doing all these little exams, and then it turns on you, and the whole horror that's actual in the game reveals itself. And the game is very pretty. The game box, you can see, is really good art. But on the edges, they really stuck to the theme of this game.
I noticed.
It looks super worn. Like this corner looks like it's dented in.
It looks like Mike has dragged this around his office for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Every time I look at it, I'm like, what did I do to this box?
I don't know if you can see the back as well. It's very retro on the back. It's very black and white. I mean, it's very thematic.
It fits to the Aperture Science and the Black Hill Labs theme that's going on.
Very much so.
And the components inside, like there's a companion cube, there's a turret, there's different cake pieces for each player. Very cool little game from Cryptozoic. And
slightly older audience, though. I mean, 15 plus, they're recommending.
Sure. It's a little...
Is that because of the theme or the complexity?
I think it's more or less the complexity. There's a lot of difficult puzzle solving going in with the game. You're essentially GLaDOS, which is the bad guy. And you're running test subjects.
Like I know nothing.
He's running subjects through you're running subjects through the test lab, and you're trying to see how far that they can get.
Right.
So, cool design note about this. It was designed by Valve, the guys that actually did the Portal game and Half-Life. Where's Half-Life 4? Come on. So they designed the actual game, and they went to Cryptozoic and said, "Hey, make this." And that's awesome that Valve's getting into the tabletop side of things.
So you can say this is a very good rendition of that game brought to the box.
Incredibly authentic.
Yeah.
I've seen very few things that have just absolutely nailed.
And this is one of those games.
Yeah.
So get Portal, one of those to bring in.
Very cool thing.
Nice little game for the Christmas. Price-wise, I'm guessing normal sort of price game for a game this size, because we don't know the MSRP.
We didn't do our homework.
Because we didn't do the homework, but we will do next time. Maybe, hopefully. But one we highly recommend you actually stock.
Yes.
All right?
It is definitely going to be a game that is going to be a hot holiday item for you, without a doubt.
Next one up. Arr, sir, I gotta start talking like a pirate,
Oh, no.
All right. Rattle, bones, grab the loot, sir.
Rattle bones? Rattle battle.
Rattle battle.
Rattle battle?
I want to rattle some bones.
Where's your pirate voice? Say rattle battle in the pirate
Rattle
voice.
battle,
Say the full title. Rattle battle, grab the loot.
Rattle battle, grab the loot,
Oh my god, you're getting worse. So this is from Portal Games. This is one of the newest games from Portal Games. You know them from such hot titles as... the art's fantastic.
Yeah.
Really cool games such as Imperial Settlers and Hiroshima Hex and Tides of Time.
Yep.
Really cool 2-player game. So this is a pirate game, obviously, where you have a crew, you're going to put them together, and then you're going to build a ship.
Yikes.
But you just don't build a ship one time. You're going to be upgrading your ship, like you're going to be adding different cannons and different propellers.
And then you get to live the adventure, right?
I don't know what you mean by that, but yes. And you're going to be going for booty, getting the treasure.
Right.
And cool little dice chucking game from Portal Games.
Now again, because of the mechanics involved, it's much lighter on its entry level. It's about 8+. We're talking about a very fast game again, about 45 minutes, 2 to 5 players. So again, ideal game to stick in the store. Great game to demo. There'll be a lot of people coming around. A lot of people have a lot of fun with it because they'll talk in silly pirate voices just like I do.
Oh sure.
So
yeah, the artwork it sucks you in. It
just does. You can see the light whimsicalness of it. Yeah, this is a game to have a lot of fun with. So again, we can't recommend this game enough to you guys.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about this is, you have your dice and you just don't roll them on the table. As you can see, you can see here on the box. And on the box,
I don't know if you guys can see.
You take the box and then you roll your dice into it, and there's this little grid work in there that shows you where your ships actually go.
Yep.
So really cool little game. I've seen Chevy demoing this at a lot of conventions, and he's had a lot of really good response doing it. So Portal Games brought us Rattle Battle.
Yeah.
Grab the loot.
One final thing with this. Doesn't it include a couple of mini expansions as well?
Yeah, two little mini expansions. I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but there are a couple expansions.
So it's not just the one base game. You also get a couple of little extras in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last, yet by far, no means least.
So this has not come out this week. I just want to show you guys. This comes
Blood
out
Rage.
the 28th of November. And go ahead and check out, we did an unboxing video, well, I did, last week. We did it last week. It's up on our Facebook right now. So go ahead and check that out. Check out what's inside of this box. There's a lot of good minis in here. And again, this comes out November 28th.
And that's Blood Rage. Now, we had kind of a little power outage.
Yeah, we're professionals here. So we ran out of battery. And we're back.
So just to say, that's it from us about Blood Rage. Make sure you check it out. Check out the video and unboxing.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Take care.